Implement a randomness function inside a pallet. Randomness is used in computer programs for many applications. For example, gaming applications, NFT creation, and selecting block authors all require a degree of randomness. True randomness is hard to come by in deterministic computers. This is particularly true in the context of a blockchain, when all the nodes in the network must agree on the state of the chain. Frame provides runtime engineers with a source of randomness, using the randomness trait. This guide explains how to make use of Frame's randomness trait by using the random method and the nonce as a subject. The guide also illustrates how to add entropy to the randomness value by assigning the random collective flip pallet to the configuration trait of a pallet that exposes a random type. Import randomness. In the palette you want to use, import the randomness trait from frame support. Include it in your palette's configuration trait. Note that the randomness trait specifies a generic return of type output and block number. Use block number and hash from frame system in your palette to satisfy that trait requirement. As stated in this trait's documentation, at best, this trait can give you randomness which was hard to predict a long time ago but that has become easy to predict recently. Keep this in mind when you evaluate your use of it. Create a nonce and use it in your randomness implementation. Use a nonce to serve as a subject for the frame_support traits randomness random subject and U8 method. There are 2 steps to including a nonce in your palette. Create a nonce storage item. The storage item can be type U32 or U64. Create a private nonce function. This function increments the nonce each time it's used. The increment nonce private function can be implemented in such a way that it both returns and updates the nonce. For example, to learn more about the wrapping and encoding methods, see wrapping add and encode in the Rust documentation. Note that, unlike most intrinsics, this is safe to call. It does not require an unsafe block. Therefore, implementations must not require the user to uphold any safety invariance. Convert self to a known vector. Use randomness in a dispatchable. Using the nonce, you can call the random method that randomness exposes. The code snippet below is a mock example that assumes relevant events and storage items have been implemented. Update your pallet's runtime implementation. Because you have added a type to your pallet's configuration trait, config opens up the opportunity to further enhance the randomness derived by the randomness trait. This is accomplished by using the randomness collective flip pallet. Using this pallet alongside the randomness trait will significantly improve the entropy being processed by random. In runtime srclib.rs, assuming pallet random collective flip is instantiated in construct runtime as random collective flip, specify your exposed type in the following way.